I want to know more about that.
All right.
The Randy Myers stories of the weekend.
First Dibbs question of the day, sponsored by Trantolo & Trantolo, your personal injury law firm since 1938. Keith and Scott are third-generation Trantolos to be doing this in Hartford, Waterbury, Bridgeport, New Haven, and Torrington. Dial 844-999-999. First Dibbs question, is Gunnar Henderson an idiot for not stopping at first?
So if Gunnar Henderson
Already had a triple-double home run.
If he would have stopped at first, he would have had a cycle.
Just hits a ball down the right field line against the Oakland A's. They're up 10-1.
He would have been the first rookie in Baltimore Oriole history, which is a long history
of and very, very good players. A lot of them in the Hall of Fame.
I didn't know the situation on the game.
There's a guy on base. I think it's 9-1. There's a guy on base.
So we're well ahead.
Well ahead of the A's.
He's an idiot.
Fourth at bat.
He is an idiot, Rob.
Can easily, his whole team's baffled that he doesn't stop at first.
Moron.
Ball hits down the right field line, and that's what sets up the double, or else he could have stopped at first. I'm not going to call him an idiot. I'm just going to call him very unselfish. And also not understanding the history of the cycle and how hard it is to hit for the cycle.
Is he kicking himself today?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because his teammates, I think it meant as much or more to his teammates that are now 30 games over 500, in first place solidly in the hardest division in baseball, ahead of the Yankees and the Red Sox. All of that to where they've all come, that they would have, that's like a cherry for these guys or a carrot. And I think that they were like, Gunnar, why didn't you just sit there and take
I know, we didn't
that?
Need the double.
We didn't need the double. It didn't help winner. It wasn't a make or break thing.
I just can imagine in the next couple of years, maybe 10, 20, 30 years from now.
It's not easy to get, man.
Maybe 50 years from now, Gunnar's grandchildren like, Grandpa, did you ever hit for a cycle? Well, there's this one night where I had it all, but I went for the double instead. No, Grandpa, you didn't. Why didn't you just stop on first, Grandpa? Moron.
They end up winning 12-1 against the Athletics. Now it's on to go home and play the Toronto Blue Jays. But listen, he's a wonderful young player. When you're rounding first, you're thinking of being in that moment. You're not thinking about the cycle or what you've done before in the first three at bats. You're thinking about, I got to hustle and get to second base. That's in your DNA. So I think it was hard to take the stop and go and stand there at first. Nobody wants to stay at first. You're not taught to stay at first. You're taught to always get to the next base. So that's,
where he hits it to, he hits it down the third baseline,
and it hit rockets. It ricochets off of the stands. You almost think
like, gosh, I can't. That's rare that happens. If I just stay on first, and I'm not really giving the baseball gods, what they just gave me, which was
do you really want
double.
That? It's an easy double. You could have tried to stretch a triple.
Do you hurt the baseball gods' feelings without stopping on first or going to second?
Oh no, I think if you stopped at first,
then you're gonna.
That's a very selfish act.
0 for 50 for the next 50 for the baseball gods.
Not 50, but I think the baseball gods would be like,
you're gonna hit a slump somehow.
Why'd you do that, man?
Maybe an injury coming up. Knock on wood. We'll see.
It's about parades, not trophies.
Second Dibbs question of the day. I want to know what your friends thought of Vogelbach when they saw him for the first time. Because a lot of them haven't been watching the Mets.
Listen, pitchers don't normally have great bodies. We don't. We're not built that way. We're kind of dumpy. But an everyday player, especially today, to look that overweight and out of shape. Portly. If he dropped 50, he's a way better player. Way better. Quicker. Lateral movement wise,
he doesn't. All he does is hit.
But I get that. And that's the problem. That's the rub. You're one dimensional. And I think in Randy's mind, Randy always fancied himself as an everyday player, hitter. Nobody chased after foul balls more crazy than him. Nobody that I ever played with. He ran a ball could be 50 rows in the stands, foul behind the dugout. Randy ran as hard as he could to the dugout.
So what did they think of Vogelbach when they saw him?
They were just ashamed for him. Yeah. They were like, dude, you got to clean that up. We're old school, man. We're a bunch of old, yelling at the clouds kind of old men.
I love that. Hey, bud.
Clean that up. Randy was still in my basement lifting weights over the weekend.
Nice.
Doesn't miss a workout.
Get it.
Won't drink 2 days in a row. He's still very regimented in his stuff. I'm like, you don't even want a glass of wine with dinner? We were having ribs last
Good
night.
stuff.
Nope, not going to do it.
Discipline.
Uncle Randy is strict. He was tough on Coco, but it'll be for the better. All right, when we come back, who we had. I know I was great for you making money.